Fox 4 News, your local election headquarters.
We're deeply disappointed as we are steadfast in our belief that Jackson County is far better off with the Chiefs and the Royals.
One of the team owners, John Sherman, talking tonight. Fox 4, your local election headquarters. The Royals and the Chiefs leaders expressing their disappointment tonight. Voters in Jackson County say no to question 1. Welcome to Fox 4 News at 10. I'm Lauren Halifax.
And I'm Kevin Barry. Voters say that they have too many unanswered questions about question 1 so far. It asked Jackson County voters to extend the 3/8-cent sales tax to fund a new downtown Royals baseball stadium in the East Crossroads district and in renovations out at Arrowhead. Not even close, though, tonight. 58% of the Jackson County voters voting no, 42% saying yes. The no vote leading by at least 13,000 votes at this point.
We have team coverage tonight. Fox 4's Jonathan Katz at the Vote Yes watch party. That's at J. Rieger Distillery, hosted by the Chiefs and the Royals. Malik Jackson at a Vote No watch party at Green Dirt. Let's start with Malik. Malik, what have you heard from the Vote No crowd?
Lauren and Kevin, the big word we've heard tonight is rejection. This is a rejection of politics, of lies, deceit, and of manipulation. And I'm joined now by a very important person that was a part of this discussion, County Executive Frank White. Mr. White, you were called names. You were told you were holding a grudge against your former team. They said this, that, and the other about you. But in overwhelming fashion, the voters of Jackson County stood with you.
Well, you know, Malik, it's all about the voters. It's all about doing what's right. It's all about doing what you took an oath to do. And my job was to look out for the betterment of Jackson County. And that's why I took the stand that I did, because I really felt like this going on the ballot without any type of agreement was wrong. And I just wanted to make sure that the voters kind of knew what the issues were. And just having Legislative Marshall, Legislative Jeannie Lauer stand behind me on this just really, really reinforced the fact that I thought I was doing the right thing.
We could dig real deep into everything that's happened over the last few months, and maybe we could take up the first 15 minutes of this show. But I think it's important to now look forward where we're going. What do you believe is the future of the Royals here in Jackson County?
You know, I think the future for both teams is what they want it to be. I think that from my standpoint, I just want to just get back to the table, hammer out a lease that is beneficial to all parties, and move on with everything. I think that the teams have been here a long time. It's been good for our community. I think the taxpayers have been good to our teams. And I think that everybody's right now just looking for a fair, equitable deal that everybody can live with.
What's your message to Jackson County voters, those that, like I said, overwhelmingly stood with you, but also those that you are also their county exec and disagreed and voted yes on this question 1?
Well, you want to thank the ones who felt confident enough that they would take that gamble of the teams leaving, that they would support coming back and doing a redo, doing a reset, and trying to do this over. And you also feel a little for the voters who voted against it. They voted for it because they really felt like they thought the teams might leave. But we've always said from the very beginning that the teams have this year plus 6 more years to play here, and anything can happen during that time. But I think that based on the amount of taxpayer funding that both teams get, I think that the taxpayers have been fair and want to be fair, and the county wants to be fair. So we just got to include all parties and get everybody back to the table and move forward.
I know you do this job to represent the people of Jackson County, but like I said at the top, with all the things that were thrown at you, do you feel vindicated tonight?
You know, not vindicated, because I never had any doubt that I was on the right side. I think that a lot of the accusations that came at me was disheartening because I thought I'd been fair with everybody, but so many people really didn't believe that I took a stance that obviously wasn't a stance that was popular. But I think that it's a stance that's right, and I think when you take an oath to safeguard the taxpayer dollars, you have to stay with that, and you don't want to sell that out. And I think that the voters who went to the polls today, they really felt like I was doing the right thing, holding the teams accountable, and I think that's what they appreciated most.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
Not right away, but I'm a little excited, a little tired, but. You know, it's one of those things when you win a World Series, you got all this emotion going, but you're afraid to let it out. But I think that it's just for me, it's just a good feeling for my team. They work so hard, and I think that we all went through this negative stuff that was put out. I was made the villain. They wanted me to be the villain. I embraced that fact, and I just want to be a villain for the taxpayers, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
We so appreciate your time, Mr. White. Thank you. And I can tell you the way that he's feeling, the emotions that he's feeling translates to how the Crossroads District is feeling tonight with this resounding victory. Kevin?
Thank you, Malik. Malik Jackson with Jackson County Executive Frank White there talking about the aftermath of that. Let's bring in Jonathan Ketz there. Jonathan, I don't know if you heard that, but Frank White equated it to winning the World Series tonight, said he kind of embraced that villain role that the team made him out to be. How does that strike you, and what are you hearing from the people at Jay Rieger tonight?
Well, I think that's it's crazy to hear him say those things, but we knew all along that he was a vote no supporter. I mean, in the interview that he gave me on Friday, he, for the first time, gave more information as to why the Royals apparently chose the East Crossroads as opposed to the East Village, and that apparently, according to him, had to do with Mayor Quinton Lucas, not something that Mayor Quinton Lucas wanted to hear just days before the election. Regardless, he said that, and we had always wondered why the Royals had made a late change and where specifically they wanted to build their ballpark. Meanwhile, here on the ground, everybody is leaving. There is basically nobody behind us. They have all left floor 2 of Jay Rieger, and we're about to be kicked out as well. There were a lot of people here earlier this evening. In fact, Royals President of Business Operations, Brooke Sherman, was here. So was Chairman and CEO John Sherman of the Royals. They got here around 6:30. The event opened at 6. Chiefs President Mark Donovan was here tonight along with Jackson County legislators Manny Abarca and Sean Smith. Listen to what Donovan and John Sherman said on stage just before 9 o'clock this evening after the vote had already been defeated.
We will take some time to reflect on and process the outcome and find a path forward that works for the Royals and our fans.
We will do and will look to do what is in the best interest of our fans and our organization as we move forward.
Even though we were told this evening Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas would not be in attendance, he was here tonight. He did leave early, though. In fact, he left about 5 minutes before he sent out a tweet conceding the race. Remember, on Saturday, he was at a news conference over at the K endorsing the yes side. He ended up showing up. He knew the results were not going in their favor. He conceded, and then about 5 minutes after that tweet came out, Mark Donovan and John Sherman, along with Sly James, took the stage. We don't know why, but Chiefs Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt was not in attendance tonight, but a resounding no, not in the favor of either the Chiefs or the Royals for the stadium sales tax question.
Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan Ketz live at Jay Rieger tonight at the Vote Yes watch party. A lot more questions than answers now as we move forward.